Welcome back to Flashback Friday, where we uncover the overlooked genius, the revolutionaries, and the artists whose legacy was hidden in plain sight. Today we are talking about Angela Tyndall, a woman artist forgotten and left behind by the Indian art world, the radical artist who decolonized Christian art. Let's dive in. Imagine growing up in early 20th century Bombay as the daughter of Antonio Xavier Tyndall, a master artist who was celebrated everywhere. Angela grew up surrounded by art, culture, and creative excellence. But here's the thing, her father actually discouraged her from becoming a professional artist. Not because she wasn't talented, everyone could see she was brilliant, but because he knew how brutal the art world was. He didn't want that struggle for his daughter, but Angela had other ideas. In 1926, at 17, she enrolled in JJ School of Art and she became the first woman painter to be granted a fellowship at that institution. The first woman. Between 1926 and 1932, she trained in Western academic realism. Under her father, while studying Indian revivalism, Mughal miniatures, Ajanta murals, ancient Hindu painting principles, she was becoming something her father had never been, a bridge between two worlds. By 1936, at just 27, she won the gold medal at the first All India Women Artist exhibition. This was huge. This was the moment when professional women artists were just emerging in South Asia, and Angela was literally at that forefront. Later on, she had this deep, almost spiritual calling to do something nobody had ever attempted. She asked herself, how do I represent Christianity, Christ, the Madonna, biblical scenes in a way that speaks to my people, not in European imagery, not making Jesus look like a Florentine nobleman, but as an Indian experience, as something that truly belongs to India. From the 1940s onwards, Angela embarked on an extraordinary mission. She created more than 2 dozen paintings of the Madonna, completely reimagined. Our Lady of the Lotus, where Mary sits with unmistakably Indian features, wearing Indian jewelries, surrounded by Indian sacred symbols. Our Lady of Conception, where Christ's mother is undeniable Indian. She created 45 paintings of Christ's life, all transplanted into tropical India, populated with Indian faces, Indian clothing, Indian spirituality. But Angela didn't stop there. In 1949, she went to the United States on a 3 year tour, exhibiting her work, giving lectures, absorbing American abstract, expressionism, and cubism. In 1955, at 46, Angela received Pop's recognition for her spiritual vision. That's extraordinary. But here's where the injustice begins. Angela spent her last 15 years in New York developing this later phase of her work. After her demise in 1980, she was completely forgotten. She wasn't in the textbook, she wasn't in the museums, she wasn't celebrated the way the artists were. For 54 years after her last show, there was only silence. It wasn't until 2014, 34 years after her death, that a major solo exhibition finally happened. It was in Goa. 59 paintings brought together for the first time. Finally, people could see her entire artistic life. Why was Angela Trindade sidelined? I think it's because she didn't fit nearly into any category. Too religious for modernist, too abstract for traditionalist, too Christian for some spaces, too Indian for others. She was a woman in a male dominated art world. She refused to be categorized, and for that, she was erased. She wrote once, my painting emphasize that beauty is of the spirit, not matter. They follow ancient Indian aesthetics, reflecting idealism born of spirit. What can be more Indian than this? It took historian Fatima da Silva and a 2016 book, Angela Trindade, A Trinity of Light, Color, and Emotion, for people to finally begin understanding what Angela had accomplished. One historian's determination to tell a story everyone had forgotten. She proved you could honor your heritage while transcending it, blend East and West as transcendence not compromise. She showed that spirituality could be revolutionary. That's Flashback Friday, the life, genius, and slow rediscovery of Angela Trindade, the woman who decolonized court. If this story moved you, drop a comment about which overlooked woman artist deserves recognition and hit subscribe. New Flashback Friday every week only on Art with a Bee. See you next time.